Well, the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will return to West Asia this Friday for a second round of negotiations. The U.S. State Department, referring to his visit, said that the Secretary would reiterate America's support to Israel while discussing efforts to safeguard U.S. citizens in Gaza, West Bank, and work to secure an immediate release of hostages. It further said Blinken would press for more humanitarian aid into Gaza and prevent the further spread of this war. The U.S. Secretary of State's visit to West Asia will include stopovers in Jordan, whose relations with Israel have sharply deteriorated over the Israel-Hamas war. Jordan has recalled its ambassador from Israel, stating that ties will not be resuming till Israel suspends its assault. Now, Blinken had also spent time in Jordan during a trip last month after the October 7th attack by Hamas militants on Israel. In Israel, Blinken will meet top leaders of the Israeli government as well.
Secretary Blinken will travel to Israel and Jordan on Friday. The Secretary will meet with Prime Minister Netanyahu and other leaders of the Israeli government to receive an update on their military objectives. In his meetings in Jordan, the Secretary will also underscore the importance of protecting civilian lives and our shared commitment to facilitating the increased, sustained delivery of life-saving humanitarian assistance to civilians in Gaza, the resumption of essential services, and ensuring that Palestinians are not forcibly displaced outside of Gaza.
Blinken is also traveling to Japan and South Korea. Tokyo has already denounced Hamas's assault and the harm that it has brought to civilians in Israel. However, unlike its G7 partners, which focused on the issue of Israel's defense, the Japanese government emphasized the need for both parties to exercise maximum restraint and express concerns over Israel's airstrikes, while Seoul is urging for swift and peaceful resolution of the conflict, fearing regional and global spillovers. The WION government is also careful not to take sides. And for more insights, we spoke to the international affairs expert Greg Swenson from London. Listen in.
Well, I think what he's trying to achieve is keep a coalition of support for Israel and for the United States and their support of Israel. I think that's a wise move. Antony Blinken's first instinct, if you recall, on October 7th was for appeasement or, to call for restraint. I think that was a mistake. He took it down. He backpedaled on that. You saw the natural response from some of the U.S. and UN agencies calling for restraint. I think that's before they were really able to capture what really happened on October 7th. And I think once he did that, he repositioned his view to be much more supportive of Israel. I think they'll still call for restraint. I think they'll still call for some kind of pause, humanitarian pause. But unfortunately, a humanitarian pause is either a surrender to the terrorists, or it's just a chance for Hamas to rearm. And so I think, I would hope that he has the strength to keep the support consistent. I think any sense of incoherence or inconsistency, and I think we saw that with Ukraine, where there's been real incrementalism, not actually giving the support that they need immediately and doing it in an incremental fashion. I hope that's not the case. So far, so good. I think he's done his best to keep that coalition together. So I'm not sure what to expect. He's no James Baker who kept the coalition along with George H.W. Bush in Desert Storm 1 or the first Gulf War. I don't know that Secretary of State Blinken has that commanding presence, but I do think it's the right move for the U.S. and for the Secretary of State.